To me, being on video breaks down so many barriers that we have when we're growing our business. And anybody who teaches how to grow a business or teaches marketing or sales are always talking about the know, like, and trust factor. And we're always talking about being consistent over time. We're talking about inviting people into our world, our community, and nurturing those people. And I also am a really big believer. I've even had like professional copywriters say this to me, that it is 10 times harder to make a sale through a sales page or a series of written emails than if you would just have a real conversation with someone where they could hear your voice, they could see your face. And the absolute best way to make a sale is have a real like one-on-one conversation with someone. Well, like, what's the next best thing to move them to that conversation even faster? Go ahead and let them see your face. It is Facebook. It's Facebook. Facebook. They want to see your face. They want to see your smile. They want to be able to connect with your eyes. They want to see your body language. They want to hear your voice. They want to hear it. They want to use their senses. So there's so much power in the use of the video because you're tapping into more of the senses. I mean, I think it's easier to connect with people more emotionally, more talking to them like this, versus how do I convey that in a written email? How do I convey that in a post? It's easier to use video. We're all scared. We all have our own story that's playing in our mind. Like, what are people going to think about me? What if I say the wrong thing? What if people judge me? And this one, I'm sure you hear this too. What if I go live and nobody shows up? Or what if I go live and nobody comments? Or what if I go live and I'm selling something and nobody buys? And the truth is, like, I'm sure bits and pieces of that story has gone through Ed's mind before. It goes through my mind. But to Ed's point, I'll just piggyback off that. Once you go live for the first time, what you're basically doing is you're showing that fear and you're showing that doubt and you're showing that worry. You don't have anything over me. You don't have anything over me. And you've got to kind of like show yourself, I can do hard things. I'm going to be okay on the other side of it. I'm going to be alive on the other side of it. And it creates this like sense of momentum, because once you take like one little step, you have to take the first little step for the next step to even get to the second step. You have to be able to take the first step. And I promise you, and I'm sure Ed feels the same way. Once you go live one time, you feel the power in that. And you have this desire to like keep going live and continue sharing your message. But you got to start, just like you said.
Yes. And I love that you bring that up, because that's the thing. Going live is scary. We get it. We know. We've been there. We've been doing this for a long time, it's still, there still can be those days where you kind of like, oh, especially if you haven't gone live in a while, there's those moments where you're like, okay, we're back to square one. Like, let's pick it up and let's run.
Yeah, I feel that way.
Yeah, and it's just, it's always going to be there. But like you said, there's that part where once you go live, it's just like, wow, it is amazing. And then it builds your self-confidence. It grows you, like, that's why I always tell my clients, like, it's not just about getting a sale. Of course, we're all trying to stand out and we're trying to make a sale. That's part of the business. But it's so much more when you go live, because you're not only getting your business out there and getting it seen, you're also allowing yourself to personally grow. Like you said, build that know, like, trust factor much quicker than any regular social post or email or webinar. Like, all those things that we are told that we have to do and should be doing, if that's not comfortable and if that's not something that you can really do in the business that you have right now, if you're by yourself and you're doing all of the things, like, take a step back, breathe, and realize phone and going live on Facebook is really, just think about that and keep listening to this message even on the replay, because it's so important for you and your business, especially right now during this pandemic. because I had a conversation with one of my clients the other day, and this comes up a lot, but we were talking about them getting into more video and being able to do more of this live broadcasting and being able to just post more video in general. And the reason why they were excited, quote, excited about doing this is because their words were, I just want to stay top of mind, because so many businesses are not being seen or heard right now because they're not embracing social media. They're not using live video, and they're not staying top of mind with their customers or potential customers, potential clients, because they're not doing the work. And I realize that we all have so much on our plate with all the things in the world going on, but you have to realize that if you don't use the tools and resources you have available to you, people forget about you. And it's easier right now because so many people are at home scrolling through, and guess what? They don't know you. They're not paying attention. And so that's why it's super important to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable on camera and using live video, because it's going to take you to that next level.
Yeah. And you know, our future is created by what we're doing right now.
Oh.
You know, so the number of clients that any of us or any of you listening have right now, that is a direct reflection. That is the effect of the cause, which is you. So I always tell myself, whatever I did in the past 90 days, that's why I am experiencing the results externally I'm experiencing right now. It's whatever I did the last 90 days. So remember that, you know, the moment when you, and look, I chose to go live 31 days in a row, the month of July. For anybody who thinks that like that's what I want to do that every single day, and there's like not a moment where I'm trying to talk myself out of it. I tried to talk myself out of doing it Saturday, and I tried to talk myself out of doing it on Sunday. And I was like, oh, I could just host a watch party. Oh, nobody will notice if I don't show up live today. But then when that happens and you notice, because that's your brain's job. Your brain's job is to keep you comfortable. Your brain's job is to keep you safe, is to keep you mediocre. The brain is not wired for growth. You've got to do that. The brain is wired to keep you right where you're at. So I had to dig deeper, and I had to think like, what is my why? Why do I still have to go live? And I always go back to, because my audience expects that from me. My audience has a really high standard for me. I told my audience to expect me to go live 31 days in a row. If I don't go live just one of those 31 days, I've just lost all trust in my audience. So I do it. And I think that's really important, because like with Ed's experience, with my experience, our brain still tries to talk us out of it. Our brain still tries to tell us, I don't look good enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have anything to say. I've said this before. Nobody's going to show up. What if I don't make a sale? Like the same stuff goes through our heads. It goes through your heads. And you have to figure out like, what's a thing that you're going to like grasp onto in that moment when your brain is trying to talk you out of it. For what works for me is really recognizing and reminding myself, well, what is my why? Why do I still have to show up? Why do I still have to rock it? Why do I still have to press go live despite my fears, my worry, my doubt? Because am I going to let that get in the way of showing up and producing whatever future result I want to produce? I love a saying. I don't know who said this or where I got it from, but I say it all the time. And it's like, build relationships with people before you need them.
Yes.
Build relationships with people before you need them. So before you're like, holy moly, I better make a sale so I can pay my bills. If you haven't spent time building relationships with people, and what we're suggesting is tap into the power of live video for that, because it is the fastest way to build relationships with people. If you're being super wobbly and inconsistent, you're going to get to a point at some point in the future and say, holy moly, I need to make money. And you've got no audience, no relationships to really tap into, simply because you let fear, doubt, and worry get the best of you and you didn't show up consistently.
Yeah, 100%. And And that's why, you know, even for me, why I do this, why I continue to show up, is because I have my show up, deliver, and engage. Like, that's my reminder. Those are the three things that I love teaching all of you, that those are the three things to our success in whatever we do. And for me, it's always been, I'm the only one that can show up. Like, that's my job. I have to show up. So once I do that and I deliver my message, then it's open, it's fair game for that engagement. But that engagement's never going to happen if I don't show up and deliver my information. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to do it through live, and that's my starting point. And so yeah, it's the best way to build those relationships quickly and to be able to really use your voice. And as you said in the beginning, for those just tuning in, is that it's one of those things that allows us to see you, to
Yes.
feel your energy, to see the smile, to hear that excitement in your voice, and to just really like charge you. I mean, you're not going to be able to get that in a regular post. You're not going to be able to get that in an email sequence. You know, you might get it in a pre-recorded video because, of course, it's video, but it's still not going to be the same as live video. And that's the power of live. It just really takes you to that next level and allows you to connect with people that you never even thought you'd be connecting with, both now and later.